everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Today we have a very special guest, which I'm so excited to introduce you to, Carolanne. She has been with me, gosh, for many moons, many moons, but we just finished our VIP one-on-one limitless.
So sad.
Yes, I know, but now you're in BTS. Now you're in Beyond the Stars. So it's like,
yes, I am.
yeah, so that's exciting. So I still get to taste your energy, and so do so many other people. So what I would love for you to do, Carolanne, is first introduce yourself. Where are you from? You have a sexy accent, and I just love it.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. So yeah, my name is Carolanne. I do realistic, moody black and gray tattoos. So I'm from Canada, if you haven't heard my accent yet. And I've been tattooing for like 4 years and a half now, and I've been in my private studio for like 2 years now. Yeah, that's good, right?
It's so good.
And you know how much like my tattoos are so moody and so dark, but like my shop is so full of light and full of greeneries and everything. Like when clients or other people enter my shop, they're like, "Oh, it's so Scandinavian," or so. How can you say that? Like it's so smooth, you know? And yeah, so they're always feeling the good energies of the light and the plants, and I like that so much.
I think that that's like the fun part that we can play. Like as creatives, we're like, yeah, just because our style just so happens to be dark and moody doesn't mean that like the experience that they get, gets to be a plethora of different aspects, and which I actually find really good and funny because of the fact that like when I look at your tattoos, had I not known you and I only saw tattoos, I would have been like, oh, maybe this girl's like dark, hardcore, she really like, I would have tried to like imagine what you would look like as a tattoo artist had I not known who you were. And I think that that's like the thing though, it's like that's what we're all trying to do in the online space, is we're really just trying to like let people in on, yes, this is a style, but this is who I am, and then they get to be both together. And so for you, it's like you started to really, come out of the woodwork with your own messaging and really just like leading in that. And I want you to talk about like what it is that your tattoos like really just like mean, like what's the message you're really sending out
With my tattoos?
with all of it, with you, the tattoos, with all of
Oh,
it. You've had this
okay.
discussion before.
Yeah. So I had some bad experiences with like tattoo artists, as you know yourself, and I've been like traumatized. So I really wanted to say to people that it is a safe space, and I'm a safe person to talk to be with, to have an experience with, to work with. So with my messaging, I really wanted to expand on that. And my tattoos are so dark and so full. There's not so much there. How can I say that? There is contrast, but it's like there's not so much negative space. Mm-hmm. So I want for people to know that I'm a person full of light and a person you can trust. So I'm a polarized person, and I really want to show that on the online space. So yeah, I think that's a great start. But I'm still like trying to figure things out about that, because I want to play with it as an engineer, as you say that. I want to know where my limits are with the online space. So I'm still figuring that out. But now with your work with me, I have more confidence in myself about that. Before I was like hitting myself up with, oh my God, I have to do so much, and I'm already doing so much. I don't know where to go. My energies were like everywhere, spread it everywhere. I was feeling overwhelmed with that. But now I feel confident in myself, like with what I have to do, with what my messaging is. And I think that's really good.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it is. So it's like I love that. And I'm so glad that you're feeling well, because like I remember when we first met, it was like a lot was going on. Like we're always like as entrepreneurs, we're navigating so much in life and business, right? You're like, there's so much going on. And so
always.
yeah, always. And so it's like what do we like? I think there's a thing that we think that somehow if we get to somewhere it's going to be better. And we constantly chase that that conditional, like that place. And instead when
Yes,
you just,
after that problem, I'm gonna be okay. After that problem, I'm gonna be like more happy, or I'm gonna be more richer, or something like that. But no, you have to deal with your energy right now, because there's always gonna be like winter. You can't stop winters from coming. You know, you have to be wiser and stronger and better. Winters are coming. You can't
yeah.
stop it. So that's what I did with you. Became wiser, stronger, better. You know, you have to
Yeah.
work what you have, but you can be better, and you can be wiser, and you can be stronger.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is that like I think with you, it always was like there was always this like that you were always striving to be the best you could be. Like you're always striving that. And that was so inspiring. And also I was just like, gosh, like look at this woman just go. And even like, I mean, so I would love for everybody to know that like where do you really find your clientele? And you just like really just started with the Instagram game. Like you guys, like she started off with little, like a very, like not very small. I'd say you're like in the
You know, but it's
thousands. Like,
growing. It's
yeah,
growing.
it's growing.
It's
But on
growing.
Facebook,
Okay.
like on Facebook is your platform. And so,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Here in, yeah, I'm in Quebec, Canada, in fact. And here Facebook is stronger for me, because I tattoo male clients from 30 to 60 of age. So uh, after 40, I feel that does not mean that it's the truest thing that exists. You know, it's only an opinion. But what I experience, in my experience in this space time, is Facebook is stronger, and people are talking to each other. You know, the energy that I give to my clients, they're really soulmates, and they can't live without me after that, you know? So it's really good. And in fact, when I found you in 2021, I did the Inspired Academy. And I've always been true to myself. You know, I started with my mentor, and I was with my client saying, hey, my style is realism. Do you want, can we like twitch it a little to make it more like my style? And after 6 months only, like being in that private studio with my mentor, I was doing only realism. So I've been always true to myself about that. Even if I wasn't that good or that experienced, people were like, fine, let's go. I meet you where you are. And they've always been happy with that. So my name here, I've always been like, she's true to herself, she's doing realism, and people have always have a good experience with me. So because of your messaging at that time, but you're still doing it, right, Reese? It's like being true to yourself and stay in your ground for that, you know, do the best you can with where you want to go. So I've started in realism. So it helped me grow from that. And now I have clients more ready to go like bigger and stronger with me, you know, so it's crazy
Yeah,
like for
yeah.
that.
You're like doing huge ass
Yes.
projects right now.
so, so on Facebook, my photos were like only realism. So clients like know that even my name is like black and gray realistic tattoo. You know, it's Carolanne Tattoos, black and gray realistic tattoo. You can have like colors with me, you will not. You can ask me, but I will say no. You know.
Right. But that's what
So
I love. That's what I
yeah,
love about you is that like you're very like you held true to that authenticity and to that
always.
genuine aspect to you. You're like, this is just not what I desire to do. If you do, that's okay. You never met anything about you, you know, and that's
No,
like a rare.
exactly.
Mhm.
Always polite. That
Yeah,
only means that
always.
we're not soulmates.
Right, right, exactly. And so
Only.
now, like, you've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like this part of our time together was when you were like, I desire. So you desired to get someone in your shop, like at least help like do the rent thing. I mean, you were going through car stuff, you were changing housing, you
Oh
were
my
doing
God,
all
I have
this stuff.
so
Oh my
much
God.
to say. I'm a really new, like the best version of myself I've ever been.
I
Like, you
love
know,
that.
yeah, like how do you say that? Just a while ago in the conversation, you said, what's your messaging? You know, the safe space is, but becoming the best version of yourself is the truest message I give to my clients, because you're always like a masterpiece while you're a work in progress. And I know you know that too. And
That's
you know
right,
that
girl.
future chef, you know it too. Masterpiece is like, oh my God, we are so, every one of us, each one of us, masterpieces in our own lives, and we are always fighting our problems and everything, all winters, you know. So I want people to grow with me, in
Yeah.
fact. So when I'm here with my clients, you know, they're always growing and becoming a better version of themselves, because we speak without fear, without anything, you know. It's a safe space, so we are always, after an experience with me, a better version of ourselves, because we are more than we were before the appointment. So
Yeah.
it's so good.
Well, I see that the whole thing behind that is that like you being the best version of yourself, that's like kind of how you came in. You were like, when we started really, really like tight knit working together, you know, basically dating for the last 6 months.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's one of those things where you were like, I just want to be the best version of myself. And you know,
Oh yeah.
you went to the point of like, I'm no longer gonna drink. I'm going to get the best sleep I can get. It
You're
was like
sober. I hit
yeah.
6 months. Yeah, 6 months sober. Yeah. April 2nd was like my date. It was my 6 months birthday.
Yay! I
So,
love that. And how good do you feel?
I feel so much wiser. I feel like it, energetically, because it's a lot of energies for that, you know. Um, I feel like I can rule over my bad emotions more rapidly, you know, and make more decisions more aligned with myself, because I feel like I am more aligned, you know.
Mm.
So for me, for
Yeah,
me,
of
that's good.
course.
So I feel more aligned, and that's
Yeah.
it. So everything in my life feel more aligned because of me myself feeling more alive.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so yeah, and
And
because
that's
I like that, I will continue to be sober for I don't know how much time, but for now it feels aligned, so I do it,
yeah,
and I
exactly.
feel it's easy, but I drink coffee. Coffee. Oh my God, what my life would be without coffee, I don't know. I but I don't drink alcohol. But
But I love
mama
the
needs her coffee.
sacrifice.
Oh my God, what would I do?
You're like, "No, give me a Tim's, give me a Tim Hortons," and you were saying
Give me a
cheers.
Tim. I have
Yeah,
to drink my Tim Hortons.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Hey,
McDonald's fine, you know. I just need coffee.
I think it's so you were saying this before we even hopped on this call. You were like, it's like you just with Tim Hortons, you were like, it's like a coffee shop. You're like, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing we want people to feel in a tattoo shop, is when just to feel like you can go and call a friend and then like go into have a chat at a coffee shop, at the same thing, you know, similar style of experience and relationship that you have in a tattoo shop. And that's really like what you've been providing for your clients. And at this point, you know, with everybody listening, you're like already, you came to me already fucking successful in my eyes. I was like, yeah, you were like on paper, on the whole thing, it was just like you were making, you know, you can tell them. And then at the time, and it was just like, you know, with like getting people in your shop and all this other stuff. So like you came to me with already like I was like, there were moments where I was like, okay, what are we getting into? What's the nitty gritty of this? Like, what are we really trying to build here? You know, because she's already got the financial, she's already got the clients, she's already, you know, and she has a
I want
small
to be more. I just
audience,
want to
and she
grow.
just wants
Like,
growth, right?
how
Yeah.
much can I grow? You know, if I was a tree, what would stop me? You know, nothing. I would just grow
You would just grow.
everywhere. How
Yeah.
tall can I be?
How tall
Because I'm
can you
50,
be?
you know, in real life, I'm 50,
Yeah.
I'm 50, I'm 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
So I want to grow my business much more than that, you know? Yeah.
Well, that's the best part is that like I think what happens with a lot of people is that they're like, well, if I just get to this point, and you're like, nah, I want to see how big it can be, and I think that
Yeah,
that
what's the point of
expansiveness.
life besides that for
Mhm.
me? I'm a stoic person. I'm really like down to earth. Sometimes I get crazy, but that's fine.
I see,
But
Carolanne.
I want to be the best version I can because that's how I see life. I want like how far can I go in that direction if it feels good, and what's the
Yeah.
blockages, like how much can I go not only in the good direction because that's the best thing I can do, but how far can I get like to overcome what
Mhm.
I can. And
Yeah.
that's beautiful too, and I think that's the biggest work we've done together for me is overcoming things besides getting things. And
Mm.
I feel like that's the best that I could get at that time and still now, because I'm gonna do another VIP round, you know that. I don't know when, but I'm gonna do it. Let's start
Hey,
with Beyond the Stars. Let's start
we'll
with
start with
that.
Beyond the
But I'm
Stars.
gonna I'm gonna come back. So yeah, overcoming things for me was the biggest challenges because I I didn't have confidence in myself for a lot of time for the majority of my life, and you helped me a ton for that. So thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, and
So
I
let's
think
talk
that
about what are you building? What is the dream that you're like on the current up and up so we can inspire some of these artists that are listening to you?
okay, so because of my experiences, that I've been traumatized seeing artists doing things that should not be done to people energically or physically in the sense of not like it being dangerous. Let's say that some people are not that serious about tattooing because it's easy. So I want to open a shop with the side of being medical much more important than artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to open a shop with medical tattooing as much as artists doing art
Mm-hmm.
because everything is art anyway. So I want someone doing like aureolas, someone doing scars, someone doing black and gray realism, someone doing flowers, everything. But like for people to be in a safe space, because when you enter a medical shop, you don't feel safe energetically. You just feel like, oh, I'm gonna go there, and it's so white and it's so. So I want people to feel safe, to have a good experience, to feel
Mm-hmm.
good about themselves, to feel good about the experience, but being sure that they're gonna be taken care of safely. So that's my dream, and my shop is gonna be called Masterpiece for sure, for sure.
Masterpiece. For sure.
Masterpiece for sure. Oh my god! So I want to have like people working for me that have the same vibe as me, the same vibe. Yeah, people are unique, but the same opinion for our safety. I
Yeah.
want I want people at my level. I don't want people beyond that,
Yeah.
above or at my level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's so important for me. If we don't treat our clients the best way, how can we expect to have jobs? You know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
our job. Without clients, I don't exist as a tattoo artist, right?
Yeah.
Not as a
Yeah.
person, but it's like, how can you do something like that? For me, it's impossible,
Yeah.
unthinkable.
Yeah.
So, I want to open like a medical tattoo shop
Yeah.
together because it's still tattooing. Scars and aureolas are art. It's tattooing.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be separated like a medical one and an art one. It's the same.
Oh,
With the
absolutely.
same safety measures and everything. You have like a machine and inks and everything. So I feel like it's gonna be the best thing. And here in
Yeah.
Quebec, we don't have the like you like a syndicat or something like that. A thing for artists that
Oh,
work under control. It's not controlled here. So I want to be like the girl that start the control here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a long shot, but I want to do it. It's been 2 years that I've been thinking about that, but it's a lot of work, so I have to like be wiser,
Mhm.
stronger, and better to make it happen. But I do want to make it happen because it's gonna protect not only artists but also clients at both sides, you know.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think it would be the best for everyone here. It's getting crazy over here.
With
So
regards to like tattooing or just getting crazy.
regards to tattooing, because since there is no like control
Mhm.
association or whatever, you know, everyone can do it everywhere.
I see.
And it triggers me.
I
And
bet.
the only control I can have is making a better version for myself for that.
Yeah.
I can't
Yep.
control people doing it everywhere. There are still people doing it everywhere and how the fuck they want, you know, in
Mhm.
their basement or whatever. But here, I would love to make people feel safer about it, you know, to
Mhm.
make it like it's a real job, it's a real thing, and it's medical. It's something that should not feel triggering.
Yeah. No, no, no. And I really like where this is like what you're saying is like we just if we desire to be taken seriously or to
Mm,
this is our job, it's like we
mhm.
gotta take the business seriously, really.
Exactly.
And you're over here being like, I take this business to heart because it is your like you're giving your heart, you're like totally giving yourself over to it to your clients. And so when you see other people it just feels yeah, I could feel the trigger when you're just like, come on, bro. Like, are you really gonna put that on someone? Are you gonna do that in your garage? Like,
Oh
why
yeah.
would you?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
can't stand it. You know,
Yeah.
at least if you do it at your house, which I don't mind, do it properly. Do it safely for you,
For
for your
you.
kids, for your pets, for your house, for their kids, for their pets. You know, it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, of course. So you're like, do it wherever, but at the same time, just keep it real.
yeah,
And like, let's just like we're trying to change the because like there is still that stigma that tattoos are kind of gross and grody and can be related to negative connotation, negative things like gangs and whatever. Like all good. I love the culture of tattooing. I think it's just a
I
wonderful thing.
love it. I
And
love it too.
yeah,
But
but
you can do it safely now.
yeah. Yeah, but like let's like get into this. It is actually really hard to become a tattoo artist. There's not really any schools or anything like that. So it's like one of those things where to find that like safe space that someone would take them
You know
in.
what?
What's that?
Here there is
Oh,
now
there
at
is.
the Art School of Montreal. You can do a 3 months tattooing school,
Oh, wow.
supervised and everything.
Is it good?
I've not been there. For me, Montreal was
Gotcha.
like, oh, I was working at the thing, you know, I had to work. I have to work in life. So I could
Yeah.
not like, I choose not to.
Hmm.
For me, it was a long shot to go there. So I preferred to find a mentor to
Hmm.
work with because I felt like I want to learn closer to someone. But
Hmm.
I think it's a great thing. It's in the
Yeah.
art school. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No, I
awesome.
agree.
But there's still no association, no minister for that, no rules. You know, you have a safety course to follow every year. Like, but that's all. So
Hmm.
you can not do it if you want. And I feel like that's not the way to do things. So
Right. Right.
but there's a school. And that's a
But
change. That's
we're growing.
good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
And it's
good.
like I think just at the end of the day, the industry is growing so much that it's going to be so necessary for all of us to really take it seriously and to have like a mission. Like you're very passionate about things being safe for people to feel an experience that feels good to them. That's just it's just honestly, it's just one of those things where it's just like a really solid experience taken because you're giving your heart out, like you're literally extending your heart out to people and putting something permanent on their body, which is no less than a surgeon
Exactly.
does for boobies. So it's like,
Exactly.
let's take it seriously here, guys. And like, I think the whole thing is too, it's like, for me, I know that like I always talk about running your business like a CEO. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want you guys to run your business like a CEO, but I don't want to remove the aspect of like we got into this business because we love to like be little kids. Like we do like the art aspect. Like I am coloring on people's bodies. Like that's the fun part. But the whole thing about like running your business like a CEO is like taking it seriously enough to know that it is a business worth running seriously. And at the end of the
Exactly.
day, it's like for you, it's like, but there's a sovereign choice in running it like from a feminine essence and energy and leadership where you're like, I want to run it like this, still taking it seriously, but allowing others to run it like the way that they desire, whether it be like, instead of the medical, it could be like the Reiki or whatever experience you want to offer. It's really just like there's no one size fits all. It's like take it seriously, love it, make sure that you're giving good experiences. And really at the end of the day, if you're desiring to do whatever it is you desire to do, it's like, just there you go. Just have respect.
I love what you're saying, because you know what being sober brought me was the fact that I now respect before I would try to control whatever was not in my control. That was a problem for me, that I was accepting or not, depending on the situation. And now I accept the fact that you are on your journey and you do what you want. Exactly like the clients that decide consciously to go see someone that would not might fit the best for them, or that could not give them the best experience they could have with another artist. You know what I mean? That's their experience, they're choosing to live, and that's not my business.
Right.
you know and that I
Yeah, no,
love
of course.
what you're
Well,
saying.
I think the best part is that it's one of those things where it is a sovereign choice and we respect
It
everybody's
is.
do anything that
Exactly.
they want to do. And we also look within ourselves when we do get triggered. We're like, okay, I'm not going to blame the artists out there. Like there's nobody to blame. It's all I'm going to do is try to be the example to make a difference.
Exactly, that's where
And
I'm at.
and that's all we can do because we have no control over anything else but our own ways of responding to our own feelings, right? So, like, how something else outside of me, the people or the experience, and it triggers me, I get to respond to that trigger. Like, I don't have to, the feeling is real, but the response I get to choose. And that's the only thing we get a chance to choose. And this is where you're like, okay, do I want to be a victim of this? I'd be so angry. Or do I want to utilize this to empower me and change the things and be the example of that change? And so
Exactly.
really
I
that's what
love
you're that's who you are, Carolanne, though. You're like
oh
you just
I
want to
love
be
it
the
so much.
example.
I feel like we're on a one-on-one call, from my
I
VIP, and I feel like I'm growing out of that call too. It's awesome. I'm like, guys, you want a good experience, go with Reese. Let's go. You want to grow, go with Reese. Like, even personally on your business, it's fun because when we work with you, when we speak with you, when you grow personally, you will also grow in your business, in whatever relationship you have with your family, with your pets, with your clients, with your friends and everything. So it's so good because once you understand that, your whole perspective of your life changes.
mm,
And that was so good to work with you.
oh, I love it. And I think that that's
Yeah.
like one of the biggest things is that people are always looking for like, oh, well, what is she making? What are the numbers? This kind of thing. And we realize that like the numbers don't actually come or happen. And, like wealth outside of like it doesn't actually happen until we start to intrinsically change things within us.
Yes,
And
and numbers are not that they're they don't mean that much, because I could make 500K a year but have 600K of expenses, so I would be poor. You know, it doesn't mean that much, because I feel like I am rich even if there are a lot of people richer than me.
yeah. Yeah. Well, wealthy by money standard, by like the financial standard, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
like there's like wealthy from the inside out, rich before, I'd rather be rich internally than emotionally poor and rich on the outside. Like I think
Oh,
that that's
mother, I'd rather be rich in every aspect of my life.
yeah, exactly, right? Like I want to be rich in all aspects, but
Yes,
that's the whole
I'm rich
point
as
though. Like,
fuck.
so the fun part about it is that your and I journey, it wasn't like it was necessary. Like our idea was like, what was the strategy? What do we need to do? You
Yes,
started to get onto Instagram.
yes,
You're really like this because like for you, you were already making 100K. You were already
yes,
doing, you owned a shop. You you know, you're at this point, you're just like, all I want to do is expand it. Like, I'm already doing the style I love. I have a really great clientele base. I want to raise my prices and I want to like just expand the visibility aspect. And so we,
Yes,
you know, we
exactly.
kind of, yeah. So we kind of put you on like a game plan for that. And how has that been going?
Oh, well, in fact, it's going good because I respect myself more than I was before, you know. So now, as I was saying earlier, it's like more, okay, how do I feel when I post that much? How do I feel when I do that reels? How do I feel when I post that? How do I, so, you know, I'm ever growing about that and I'm still playing around with it. But my Facebook game is strong. I'm growing like, I, I don't know why it's so different for me. Both of the Instagram and Facebook are so different in my experience, but
Yeah.
you know it's fine. It's fine, and since I'm growing my clientele base, you know, so I have more younger people. So
Mhm.
like they're seeing me, and I'm. Do you want to know my number?
Yeah. What's your
Now,
number?
now 188. So I'm like 40
188.
40 people have been more with me. So now 188
Wait, what's 188?
people on my Instagram.
Oh, on your Instagram. I was like, wait a minute, you have so many more on your Facebook. On your
Yeah.
Instagram. I know, because when we first
Yes.
started, I think you had like what, like,
140.
did you?
Yeah.
188. And how has it been with regards to like your clientele base? Because like, you know, we all look at following and we're like, oh my gosh, like this is a big deal, but when really it's like the conversion aspect of it. Like your
Oh my
book,
God, yes. Oh,
you're
I'm booked.
fucking booked.
Yes.
Like you're booked. You raised your prices. You like,
Yes. Do you want to know? I made a list of like my tangible wins. I
yeah,
have it.
let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay,
Well, yeah, give me your
okay, let's
tangible.
go. Let's do it. Okay. So I raised my rates and my fees without
Mhm.
people saying a word. It's like, okay, let's go, let's do it. I have been booked more rapidly, and I think that's a tangible win. You know, before I was like, I've about for 3 years, I've been booked like for 2 months in advance, always 2 months. But now I can book a month in like under a week.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's really good because I'm not always open. I
Mhm.
close my books and I open them, and I'm being booked out like more rapidly thanks to
Mhm.
you. I have hired an accountant, so now I have more free time, and my money is being taken care of with someone that I trust. So I have more free time. So that's good.
Mhm.
I have rented my free space in my shop. So I have a passive income coming each month. And it's an esthetician. So it's good for me because you want to learn how to tattoo scars. So I don't know where it's going, but it's fine. I had my first $500 tip. That was crazy. That was really, it felt so good, you know. It's a tangible win, you know, because it's energetic. I was like, oh my God, I think you made an error. Do you want me like to clear that out? And she was like, no, you own it. Take it. I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Thank you. I have been invited to a convention. I have been invited for a guest spot, and I have discovered new books, and that is a great tangible win too. I have read great books because of you, and I'm so grateful for that. It's a tangible win. I have more books. I love to read, you know. So
I
yeah.
know. I keep telling people in the arc, I'm like, God, I should probably just start a book club aspect to this. So
Oh
we're
my
all,
God, we do it. Do it. I'm in. I'm I'm in. I'm in. Yes.
oh my
I
God,
just
you,
started
yeah.
the book mastery. It's so good. So
Oh
good.
my God, right? It's
You've read
so,
it?
what you're talking about the mind. Wait, which one of the
Mastery. The
mind
Robert Greene.
mastery?
No, mastery. Only
Oh, just
mastery.
mastery.
Yes.
Oh, no, I haven't read it. I
Ah,
haven't read
okay.
it. I thought you said
Oh, it's
mind
good.
mastery. I was
I
like,
love it.
no way.
You've read it? Mind Mastery?
No, so the Mind Mastery is like a program. It's a
Oh,
program
okay.
by Elaine Kissel, but I'm reading her book, The Mind is Willing, which is the one right I'm doing now. it's like really practical on the subconscious aspect to creating like relationship with your conscious and subconscious mind.
Oh my God.
Practical tools, which is so your jam because
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
you love
I'm
that
gonna read it.
practical shit.
Yes, and I hired the assistant I was talking to you about.
Oh
So
my
she's
god!
beginning like this week. So it's a long shot because I have to. She's starting from zero, but I feel really good about it. My energy is expensive about her instead of constructive, like
Good,
constrictive.
good, yeah.
Like because I've been asked two other times for being a mentor for two guys that was already really good in drawing and everything, and I said no because I don't want kids, you know. So I was like, it doesn't feel good, but I feel good about her. So
Mm,
it's a long shot, but I want her like to be a good tattoo artist and to be an example to her,
yeah.
not only for tattooing but for the energetic side of it,
Yeah.
because it's all about energy. Because you were talking about my client base, and I have a solid client base. My clients have been with me for the past 3 years, and my rates are higher. I'm another person. I'm a completely other girl that I was 3 years ago, and they're still there because I'm authentic. And that's the
Mhm,
best part of it. My clients come with me because I'm me. And
mhm.
that's the best way to run your business.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. You gotta be.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
whole bread and butter of my whole movement. It's like unapologetic self-expression. It's really,
Yeah.
and I think the more that we're self-expressed in that way, the more that people just continue to come back. That's why, like with you, when you're like, yeah, I grew my Instagram, I'm at 188 people, and people would hear that and be like, oh my gosh, how is she fully booked out? Or like, this thing,
Fully
obviously we
booked.
have the Facebook, but then at the same time, it's like for you, Instagram just a fun part. You're like, I'm just doing it because I'm desiring to grow. Like you're like, it's not even, you're like, I'm already golden. It's just about visibility and more
Exactly.
attention on the product and who you are. And that way it's like, because the fact is that the people that you invite into your space, the reason why you're like, of course, like you hold your clientele so dear and near and dear to your heart is because
Oh
they're going to
yeah.
share that energy with them. And like, you're like, I'm protective of my clients. So if you're going to be hiring someone, it's like, you want them to treat your clients just the way that you would treat them. And so that gets to be, so I'm really happy for you that you signed on this, girl. I'm like that. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. So I'm just like,
Yes, right. We're on the verge of like finishing our 6 months when I first like got to go breakfast with her.
mhm,
And you know what's the best part of Instagram? I was
mhm.
thinking about it yesterday before like going to bed, and I was like, if I really don't like it, I'm gonna hire someone. You know,
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna try it because that's not my best jam. I'm
Yeah.
really trying hard, but I was like, if it doesn't feel good, I'm gonna
Mhm.
try. I'm still gonna try because I want to play with it. My energy has shifted around it, but then I'm like, if I don't like it, I'm gonna hire someone, and that's all. That's all it is. I don't have to force myself to grow where somewhere my roots are not going.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm
if
100%
I
with
have to grow there, I'm gonna grow there, and that's
you.
all.
Yeah.
If I
And
can't
the
grow
thing
on
is
that side of
that,
it, that's
yeah,
it.
the best part about it is that it's so fucking owning your own personal power, because it's like people just assume that Instagram has to work in order for you to be you to make clients. And this is why I love this conversation with you, because it's like, actually, no, I'm great on Facebook and this is what's working, and I know that like Instagram, I'm going to see what works and what doesn't, and then hire someone so that they know my own message and movement and how I want to create content. And like, that's really at the end of the day where we're all trying to go. It's like, we get to the places where it's not about how can I do it? It's like, who do I get to it? It's the who, not the
Exactly.
how. Exactly. And so
Exactly.
like the more that we can get back our own time, like for me, I love content. Like I love doing it. I love it. It's a part of my thing. Like I love that creativity, but it's not for everyone. So what we do is we learn it. We see we see what works. We grow the clientele. We do the things that work over and over again so that we can create and support the who that takes over that shit that we no longer want to
Yes.
do. That's why you
Yes.
hired an accountant, right? Like because profitability comes in like three different forms. It's like energy, time, and money. And the thing is that like I want to profit my energy, and I definitely want to profit my time back. Like money I can make. Money is a renewable resource that we could constantly be
Exactly.
creating. But
It's
time I
meant to
can't get back.
circulate.
Yep. And so I'm like, hire that accountant, hire that CPA, hire that assistant. Like, even if it's only for a few hours a week, like I always tell people, I'm like, you're going to figure out how to make the money to hire them, but just do it. If you know you need it, just do it. And everything else will kind of fall into place. And that's basically like for
Yes,
you,
when
you
you
just,
think about it,
yeah.
if you hire someone for 3 hours, you can tattoo 3 hours more. You
Hmm.
could look at just that way if you want, And so,
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. And right now, like you're like, if you just hired an apprentice slash assistant, which really works, it's like a little bit of a trade-off here. And then
yes.
yeah. And then we
Yes,
have
I
what?
asked her like, do you want to take my messaging, so I could have more free time, and you will learn how to speak to clients because they are not your friends, they are not your family. They want you to be, but you have to stay in your CEO vibe,
Yeah.
you're controlling the conversation.
Right.
So she's gonna learn how to do that, and I would have more free time because for me, my 80% of things that are urgent but I don't want to do, it is the accounting and the messaging and the appointments and everything. So I'm gonna give it to her and focus on my 20% that is my
Yes. Mhm.
tattooing style, my growing about my techniques and everything. So yeah, I want to do that. I want to focus on my 20% to grow. So I'm doing it.
You
I'm
are
doing
doing it. You've always been doing it. It's like you just, but we always knew we like our 20% always turns it into the 80%, and then we have a new 20%. So
it.
it's like there's
Exactly.
always a new zone of genius that we have to be focusing on. And as we shift and grow, what we're doing is like we're just basically just expanding upon like what it is, like the bottom line, like the bottom line messaging. And for you, it's like I know that like there's probably one day where you're like you're already stepping into your mentor shoes like that with apprenticeship.
Oh
I
yes.
already see you doing mentorship things like owning a shop. Like this is the reason, and so what you're doing is you're creating a foundation that's going to be rock solid for you to stand on. So when you do
Yes.
scale, it can hold you scaling because that's the thing. Everybody wants to grow bigger, but if it can't be supported, it will collapse. So you're like, let me
Yes.
hire the accountant, let me hire the assistant, let me like just work a couple extra hours just to make it work if I have to or whatever. And then now I'm just going to get more time freedom to focus on the 20%. Then that means I get to grow, and then do other things. That's how I
Yes,
read.
and I think a lot of people when they are beginning, at least I did, because I felt a lot of jealousy coming from my lack of self-confidence. I know that now, but I didn't know at that time. But it's like I want to have an overnight success. But you
Mhm.
can't. I
Mhm.
can't have like I can't focus on my 20%, my new 20%, and expect tomorrow to be like, oh, I'm gonna be 2 times wealthier or 2 times whatever success is meant for you. You have to take the time to work on it. So
Mhm.
hiring, taking the time to do the new courses or the mentorship I have with you, or that I'm continuing. But I think having a mastermind, me, I chose you because I love you, I love your energy. I think we are like connected in some way. I don't know if we're sisters like in other realms or something.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably,
Oh yeah,
probably.
yeah. So I think having like a mentor you can trust is really helping your business to grow, or yourself as a human being. You have to, for me, you have to have someone that have been in your shoes, like to know, like not only your wins but your failures. Like, did that work for you? How did that work for you? Have you ever done that? Have you ever felt that? And I feel like this is so important to have like in your back pocket.
Mhm. Yeah.
For me, when we are talking about intangible wins, besides having new energetic opportunities as like the conventions, the guest spotting, and everything about having an assistant and an accountant, because they they like stepped out of nowhere for me. There were
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
opportunities that I hopped on, but
Yeah.
finding a deeper purpose and having more confidence was a real big step for me. The energetic regulation that I did with you, like
Mhm.
leaning into like less fears around, social medias, other artists. whatever that is for me at that time. But now I'm another person. But I
Yeah,
have less fears that I had,
of
and
course.
the personal growth was so. The mentorship provided for me a safety net, more knowledge, more love for myself and for others. Because when you love yourself more, you can love others more too. And
I'm
it
flashing.
offered me.
You just said the best thing in the whole world. I'm flashing you titties. You're welcome.
And I had it bring me like new opportunities, new beginnings for me, because the end of other things brought me new beginnings, and I did that with you. So thank you.
I love you so
I
much.
love you so
Oh
much.
my God, I love this so much. I could keep going, but let me ask you this. If someone were to be on the fence about joining a program, or let's say doing VIP or doing Beyond the Stars or coming into the Arc, what would you say to them?
I would say that, whatever fears you have into joining the mentorship program or other programs that
Any
Reese
program.
offers, because she offers a ton. Whatever suit you, you can jump on it. It's awesome. They're all so good. Um, you know, just move past your fear, because you want to grow. You want to be the best version of yourself, and having a safety net is the best thing you can do to grow. So you're like, if you were a plant, Reese would be your light.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's totally becoming like a thing on the Mind of Reese. It's totally we're gonna make it.
And I love
My
I love
heart just
so
cracked
much of
open.
it. That was cute, right? But
That was so sweet.
yeah, you will have new connections with artists all over the world, and Reese. So that's so good. You will get to know her on a personal level, and that's a step. She's awesome. You will have connections with awesome artist people all over the planet. You will grow. You will have new knowledge, new beginnings, new endings. It's
Oh,
awesome. And I discovered myself with you. So I feel like if you want to discover where you want to go, let's go. Let's do it. Do it.
let's
Do it.
fucking
You know,
go.
money is meant to circulate. Do it, pay it, and after make more money.
Yeah. Yes.
Just make more money after
Yes.
that.
Mic
Yeah.
drop. Mic drop. Money's meant to be circulated. Go for it. And
Yes.
after, make more money.
Make more money after that. Just pay it. Do it. Jump the fence.
Oh my God, Caroline, I love you so much. Okay, so let's talk about where we can find you. What are all the things? So yeah, tell us what's the Facebook, what's the Instagram, or whatever, however we can get in contact with you. We'll obviously have everything in the show notes for everybody to come in and go follow you in
Yes,
whatever
because
places you
my
want.
books are opening in 7 days.
Yeah. And also,
Yes,
do you take
my
guest
books
spots?
are opening.
Do you take
I
guest
have,
spots at all?
yes, I have place in my shop. If someone wanna come and tattoo with me, they come.
Oh,
That's fine. I can.
I
If an
know there's
artist
a lot of
wanna
Canadian
come in
listeners
Quebec
here.
City, yes, they come. Yeah, that's awesome. That would be so great. In fact, just so you know, people will speak French. They would have a big accent, but that's fine. That's fine. I will translate. I will be there if you want. So yes, on Facebook, it's still on Facebook and Instagram. It's Carola Tattoos.
Mhm.
So you can find me there. I'm working on my emails because my website is in doing
In
in
progress.
construction.
In
I
construction.
just say that, yeah. So it's coming for that. So you can talk to me on Facebook Messenger or DM me on Instagram, and I will personally answer you for the time being.
Yay.
So yeah, you can join me on that, and we will talk for whatever you want.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Like right now, you're like even on your Instagram, you were holding like a lot of wisdom and insight around becoming your best self, and I think
Yeah.
that that's like something I really absolutely enjoy within your captions and within your,
Thank you.
yeah, it's like one of my favorite parts.
I
Well, I
worked
love your
so hard.
tattoos, of course, but it's one of those things where it's like I just love your insight and wisdom, and just I just want to say thank you for coming here and being here with
Thank
me
you for
and
having me. That was so great.
so much.
I love you so much.